So, or just prepping your horse. So the first time you put a racket on a horse, or anything on a horse, is generally best if the horse has already been out, had his ride, and he's tired but not spent. You want a little bit of horse left to introduce a new thing to him. And so I'll just show you how I introduce the racket, and also how I would prep the horse with the racket after I've ridden him in the yard, like, and we've kicked his hips and side past him, and we can canter a small circle and all that's going good, and the horse is ready to go stick and ball. Then this is how I prep the horse, just to make sure that I've touched those few points. And now, this isn't about how good you can pick the ball up. This is about that the horse is prepared to let you pick the ball up, and that it's comfortable doing it. Just because you got a 10-foot reach and can reach out there, if the horse wants to leave going the other way, you're actually teaching the horse the wrong thing. You want this horse to be with you all the time, especially when you've got such long arms and legs like I do and have no reach. So you'll see here that I've got my racket and ball. This is where it lives. This is a practice racket. Sits up here at the rail. Right. And then I'll just give a little bit of a wave up and down here. Right. If you need to do this on the ground with your halter, just prep him up, start like rubbing him with it, waving it around. Obviously this horse has done it, but just, if this horse wanted to canter, I'd just let him canter, and I'd just keep doing this. So like, we'll just let him canter, but I'm not actually asking the horse to do anything. All I'm doing is just, like, if he wants to run, well, he can run, but this racket doesn't go away. And I'm just gonna, right, and then at some point I'm just gonna stop riding while I'm still waving the racket. If the horse wants to stop, and actually that's not that bad, I'd rather stop than canter around here. Right, and then we can just go giving it a twirl. So, and then because he might be a little bit worried now that I'm starting to do something a little bit different, I'll counter him off again, but I just keep twirling that racket, keep twirling the racket until I can ask him, there, until I just ask him to stop, but I keep twirling the racket. Now, because he stopped while I kept twirling the racket, he's obviously pretty comfortable with me twirling the racket. If I was to stop twirling, then stop him, it could be that he's just stopping and he's forgotten about the racket. But because I kept that going, and like if you're whip breaking your horse, stock whip, same thing. You're just cracking all the way, and then if you can ask the horse to stop while you're still cracking the whip, while you're still twirling the racket, it means the horse is generally pretty accepting of that. Right, the same going the other way, just like twirl, like flopping it up here. I'm going to assume that he's going to be pretty all right, but and then just ask him to stop. Just stopping riding. I didn't need to like pull him down into the ground. Here I am still twirling. Here I am still just waving the racket around on the offside. So we can assume that he's pretty good. Then as we're going around, spin the racket. And then all I want to do is just drop the ball out there. And I'm just going to keep looking at that ball, and because we've already ridden our horse in small circles, I'm just going to let him do a small circle to come back. Oh, he didn't quite get there good enough for me to pick that ball up. So I'm just going to keep riding him back to the ball. Yes, nice easy pick up. Now, I'm not going to win the World Cup with that pickup, but what I might do is train the horse that having the ball picked up on him isn't something to stress or worry about. Right, and then this horse has obviously been here a million times before, and he loves to stop, so I didn't ask him to do anything, so he didn't do anything, he just stood here. You can get your horse to that point, you probably start to get him trained a bit. So yeah, then just chuck that ball out, small circle back around, just ride him back to the ball. We're not training him how to do a turn around, or we're not training him for anything except for just that picking up the ball isn't a problem. And then just small circle back around here. You see how I'm keeping my pockets tucked, hidden by my saddle, because a bit like rising to the trot, I don't want an invitation to get bucked off. I want to stay to this horse. You know, I'm assuming that this horse has never had a racket on before, but he has had some training, so I'm just going to not push the boat out too far. And as that horse gets a bit more confident, I can get a bit more relaxed on him, and maybe I will start getting up and riding a little bit. And as I chuck that ball out, I might stand up a bit to pick that ball up. Cool. This horse has probably been here before. Let's see if we can really scare him by chucking the ball over there against the rail. You ran over the ball rather than me doing an Abbott Grills pickup. I'll just ignore it and ride around again. And that's in a bad spot, so I'm just going to stop. Now, the first time you put your racket underneath your horse's nose like this, it can get a bit hectic for them because they haven't seen it there, so just be careful. You don't want to scare them with it, because we want the horse to enjoy this. This is good fun. Right, so chuck the ball out. Right, so all of that's done. I can still get a stop in there somewhere. Right, all of that's pretty cool. So now just going to bounce the ball. Now obviously when we cross the 30-yard line, we're going to be bouncing the ball out there. Don't want to do that on the young horse and scare him. I'm going to bounce the ball out to the side. And bounce the ball out to the side. Bounce the ball out to the side, maybe even behind him a little bit. Right, until the horse is starting to get comfortable, then I can start just bringing that ball forward and bouncing it up here more in his eye line. Till I start doing some more. Then see if you can bounce the ball in the same spot while your horse is just cantering around. Oh, I mucked that last one up. Yeah, but we definitely want to give the horse a good experience the first time we stick and ball. Yeah, like that, half of that would have been plenty the first time. Then just come back and maybe warm them up with the racket the next day. Then stick and ball them again later on that afternoon or whatever. Like, but we want to make them super confident that this isn't something to fear. This, when I pick this up, it doesn't mean like, go time. This is just part of being rode. Right, cut.